Hello, it's Matty F baby back again, and we're here to do a little bit of Kingdom Cup action. We're going to be focusing on Bastiodon primarily in these battles. Let's get into them a little bit before we start. Bastiodon is going to be Steel and Rock type. It's going to be 2 times weak to fighting and ground. So be wary of stuff like Lucario and Flygon are going to like tear through him. Of course some other Pokemon, but it's also going to be weak to water. I have the resistances for Bastiodon on the screen, and it's a very tanky Pokemon. I like it with Smackdown and then Flamethrower and Stone Edge, but we're you know, if you have to pick one move, I'm not quite sure yet. We'll talk about that in later videos. But yeah, here we go. Let's get diving into the battles. Alright, thank you Gemma for these battles. We lead with an Alolan Marowak, he goes Celio. I'm going to have both of our team comps on the screen for you to see. So we're not going to take any damage from an ice set Celio, you know, the one that you would have probably used in the last cup, the Tempest Cup. His Frost Breath's not going to hurt us at all, or Powder Snow I mean, and yeah, Body Slam doesn't hurt us because as a ghost type we're immune to that. So if you're thinking about running Celio, I would strongly consider running the water set Celio. So we're not using any of our shields because we're resisting everything this Celio has to throw at us. We figured it would have a full ice set still from the Tempest Cup, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get one shield down on the Celio, and yeah, he's almost dead and we're still kicking. And yeah, we decided at the very end to go ahead and shield him up just in case we needed him in a later matchup. We're gonna have one Bone Club. We didn't want to go down if it was another Aurora Beam. Yeah, so we have one Bone Club. We're gonna go and try to do a Shadow Ball off. He's gonna go and shield that up. I was hoping he would think it would be a Bone Club and let it go through because Charizard's gonna resist that overall. He has a Dragon Claw coming and we're gonna let that go through. And now we bring in our guy, Bastiodon. The Smackdown is gonna tear through the Charizard pretty quickly. And as a Rock and Steel type, you know, it doesn't have to worry too much about the Fire typing, the fast move on the Charizard. So he brings in a Melmetal, and now with no shields, Melmetal does not want to see the Flamethrower. So I like Bastiodon a lot. If you have the means to invest in one, I would. If you don't have the means, definitely don't do any investing now, but think about him in the future. I would definitely walk one. I think it's a pretty safe thing to tell everybody, you know, walk a Shieldon right now, at the very least. But I like him. I've been working on mine for a while. He's almost ready, and yeah, I think he's worth using personally. Anyways, we get the Flamethrower off, and we're going to be tanking everything from this Melmetal that it has to offer us as well. So it's a good matchup against that Melmetal. So game number 2 against Gemma Banks, and we have the Kingdra, and we see that it has a water type fast move, so we switch into our Altaria and go and get some nice work with those Dragon Breaths. He brings in the Celio, and we're going to go and get a Sky Attack off of that. The thing about switching your Celio to a water set is that it is going to make Altaria able to come in and completely wall the Celio. So honestly, I'm not personally really liking Celio for this tournament. You know, because either way you're going to have something that can come in. If you do have a Bastiodon and Altaria on your squad, depending on what set the Celio is, your opponent will be able to come in with one of those two and completely wall out that Celio. You don't want that. You don't want to have a Pokemon that is going to get walled out all over the place. So we bring in our Infernape. I'm not saying use an Infernape, we just set up a team and wanted to have some fun with him. And yeah, we haven't used an Infernape ever, so for our first ever Kingdom Cup matches against Gemma Banks, we decided to go and use him. So we're not going to be liking these water guns from the Kingdra with our Bastiodon, but we do get some Smackdowns off and get him down before he's able to do another Blizzard or Hydro Pump on us. So here we have Lucario coming in. We have enough for a Flamethrower almost. Once we get that off, we're hoping that we can get him down before he gets the Power Up Punch, but no chance at all. But it's a pretty close matchup right there. But there it is, the hard counter. One of the hard counters for Bastiodon that you do have to watch out for. So even though I think he's a really good Pokemon for this tournament, he can do some work on some ice types, some fire types. He can wall a bunch of different Pokemon like the Altaria, all sorts of Pokemon. Can't wait to show you more Bastiodon because I'm using him a lot in my practice matches. So if you're excited about this Bastiodon showcase and about that Pokemon, he's not even in this match. So we're just going to talk about Bastiodon a little bit. Then stick around because I do probably plan to use him a lot in these practice matches because I like him a lot. And if I want to use him for the tourney, I need to get used to it and figure out how to work around that double ground and double fighting weakness. So anyways, let's get into the match a little bit. We have a Melmetal going in against this Kingdra. We're going to go ahead and get a Thunderbolt off. He blocks that. That is his first shield that we used. Pretty sure this is the one with the Altaria versus Altaria to start. He goes for a Hydro Pump. I go for the Rock Slide this time, hoping to save some energy and get off another charge move on the next Pokemon. I'm pretty sure at this point the Rock Slide will down him. So now we go for a Rock Slide onto the Cilio, which of course he's not going to want any of these moves from Melmetal. Melmetal is going to be really good against Cilio as well. I'm not really liking Cilio. First night, thinking about this cup, barely researching. So far, I'm not really feeling Cilio for this tournament for a couple different reasons. So we'll talk about that more as we dive into this cup. We'll get some more Bastiodon on screen soon because we love him. But we have the Alolan Marowak, who I think could end up being a pretty good Pokemon. We'll probably do a video about him as well. Yeah. So we get the W here. So that's I think 2-1 against Gemma Banks going into match number 4. We lead with the Alolan Marowak. He has the Charizard. We switch to our guy Bastiodon after we let him power up a little bit. He gets the Dragon Claw. That's what we were thinking was coming at us. So we go ahead and let that hit us. He's going to switch into the Cilio, which Cilio is not going to like eating those smackdowns. You can see it's tearing through him. We're not going to have to shield anything this Cilio has to offer us because it is an ice set Cilio. And if he was a water set Cilio, it'd be good to, I think it'd be good to run an Altaria. So if he has a water set Cilio, you can bring in the Altaria. If he has an ice set Cilio, somebody you can bring in the Bastiodon and then kind of cover each other that way too. Yeah, counter each other's countered in that scenario. So anyways, he brings in the Altaria on our Bastiodon. We go ahead and get a Flamethrower off. It's really nice to have a Stone Edge right here. That's going to do more damage, but he goes ahead and shields anyways. We were thinking about switching right there, then we decided to stay in, I'm pretty sure. He goes ahead and Sky Attacks him. Look how well he takes the Sky Attack, and the Dragon Breath is barely doing anything to us as well in comparison to how much it usually does to Pokemon. Dragon Breath usually hurts them, so we would like to have Stone Edge here, but we don't have a second move on our Bastiodon quite yet, and it'll do more damage because the Altaria is going to resist it, so it'll do even better against the Altaria once I get the second move set on, so keep that in mind in that matchup. It probably could have swept if I had the Stone Edge, to be honest. It probably would have swept this squad, because look at how dead the Charizard is right there, and if I had the Stone Edge, it probably would have wiped that Altaria when I used the Flamethrower on it that last time. So last match, we have Altaria versus Altaria to start. Yeah, we're up 3-1 with our boy Gemma B, and we know in a few weeks he's probably going to be waxing us. Yeah, he gets some hardcore training up there with his Toronto boys, but luckily I'll be training with them too for this tournament. So GG Gemma for waxing me up all throughout our Tempest training for the most part, and I'm excited to train with you for this Kingdom Cup as well, and the rest of the Toronto crew and many others. So we ended up switching. I wanted to switch into my Bastiodon there, but I ended up accidentally switching into the Marowak. Either way, I probably should have stayed in with Altaria, to be honest, and tried to mirror, just let that mirror match play out. Maybe it would have ended up better if I did bring in the Bastiodon instead of the Alolan Marowak. When I did that switch, he would have been able to just switch into Lucario. So you gotta be careful. I'm gonna figure out, how you want to work these Lucarios, find the ultimate Lucario counter, and maybe run that with like an Altaria and Bastiodon. Maybe that would be a pretty good squad. But we'll see as the tournament, as we prepare for it. But anyways, the battle is about to wind down. Hope that you're excited about Bastiodon. We'll be talking about him more. We get a Sky Attack off just barely, and it's gonna go ahead and finish off the Lucario. But we're not looking good at all, because our Bastiodon is almost dead, but it's, as you see, it takes that Sky attack really well, and takes another one and survives, which is crazy. And it's going to go ahead and down the Altaria now, and then he has a whole nother Pokemon, but the Flamethrower will do a lot to that Melmetal. So yeah, GG's, Gemma. Thank you for the matches. Yeah, I think personally, if you can invest in Bastiodon, I would power him up. If you're low on Stardust, and if you just have enough to get you through this next tournament, I'm not saying power it up right now. Definitely wait. So while I say I think it's worth investing in, not only powering it up, but also a second moveset, I would also say please wait, because I don't want you to need Stardust elsewhere and come blaming me. Please don't do that. I also told you to wait. But thank you guys for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. If you're new, make sure to subscribe so you can go on this journey through the Kingdom Cup with us. If I say Boulder Cup anytime throughout this coverage, expect it, because I've almost done it 1,000 times. Thank you so much again. Y'all have a good one. Good night.